recording has started.
Ah, healing the world starts with you. Hmm. What does that really mean? What does that really mean? It means ah, it's not enough to just want to heal. Because sometimes we don't always get what we want because we sabotage ourselves, fears come up, all kinds of things happen. And if each one of us starts healing ourselves, then that's really a great thing. Because then, through mass consciousness, the whole world starts to heal. And that's a very positive, wonderful thing. So that's what this is about. So I want you to sit back. I want you to relax. I want you to be comfortable. That's the nature of this work, is being comfortable. If you're comfortable sitting in the lotus position, go right ahead. If sitting in the lotus position feels like you're a twisted pretzel, then don't do that. If you're not in the lotus position, I ask that you don't cross your legs. It's a little bit easier energetically, especially for those who are beginners. So that's good. That's a really, really good thing. And we're going to work with things that you may not know, all these parts and places and these things that we're going to do tonight. And just know that that's okay, that the energy is being directed there. Good. So, courage does not mean fearless, without fear. Courage means persevering in spite of your fear. So it's having the courage to go on, having that courage where your goals are more important. You'll know what I mean. Let's get started. You might feel the energy building. You can see that my eyes keep closing, which is what happens, those of you who are familiar with watching my videos. Good. Please close your eyes and have the thought to activate your base chakra. Tell yourself, hey self, let's be in the center of the core of being. Because you're not the voice in your head. You're not your mind. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. You are your consciousness. So for right now, make that choice to experience yourself as you are, as your consciousness in the center of the core of being. And now just choose to be in the I Am presence. And for some people, we say, just choose to be at the throne of God. Whichever wording works best for you. Everyone's wired differently. And now let's take 3 relaxed deep breaths through your nose if you can. And relaxed is so much more important than deep. And when you're done, just choose to be in the center of the core of being again. Remember, this work is all about choosing and allowing, choosing and allowing. We've done other sessions where we've cleared out the chakras, and we went through the root chakra, which was our life plan, how things were going to unfold, and the second chakra was how our life is balanced in all aspects. Our self-empowerment is the third chakra, etc. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm radiating out different energy to you. Shakti, holy energy, divine energy. Please breathe it in through your nose if you can, if not, through your mouth. Unless you're a fish and use your gills. And fill the center of the core of being with this energy I'm sending. All I'm doing is relaying the energy that's being sent to me. And once again, I'll repeat in this video, like all my videos, I am of the light, I serve the light, and I dedicate myself to the service of the light. There's no evil here, there's no dark here. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Good. Let's activate, means turn it on. Let's energize. Energize means to kick it up into an energetic state, a higher energetic state, just like at a chemistry class. Let's amplify it, sort of like turning up the volume on a stereo. And let's lock it in on our node. And now we're going to direct this to different places. We're going to be going through the limbic system and some other places. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clear out outmoded beliefs. Sometimes we hold on to a belief even if we know it's not true. It's still there, and it still affects our choices with automatic responses and things. People believed that the earth was flat, even though people had gone to the New World long before Columbus, right? And even after Columbus, people still believed that the earth was flat. Doesn't make it true. And if you believe something and it happens to be true, and you hold it as a belief, then the energy flows through that belief differently than if you hold it as a truth. So what we want to do eventually in our process, in our progress, in our spiritual evolution, is to convert all of our beliefs to truths. So let's send this energy now into the thalamus. It's in the middle of the brain. Doesn't matter if you know where it is, what it is. It's going to go there. If you want to enhance this process, you can do a special breathing technique. It's called continuous breathing. And basically, if you're doing continuous breathing, you don't stop. But it doesn't mean you're going to saw wood like, no. Relaxed, easy breathing, normal rate of breathing, no hyperventilation. But as soon as you're done breathing out, you immediately start breathing in, and you focus on your breathing so that you don't stop in the middle. And then you'll have an enhanced effect, and you'll get more out of this. And the deeper you go into the center of the core being, the more you'll get out of this. So there's different levels and layers of results depending on your knowledge, the studies that you've done, the experiences you've been through. And that's okay, because here it is in a recording, and you can always go through it again. And let's allow this to go through the thalamus. And in these energies are the energies that are going to transmute, release, and replace all of the beliefs within you that are outmoded. Isn't that great? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All you have to do is sit there, breathe, and allow it to happen. If you are listening to this in the recording or on the video, and you want to spend time, extra time in any one of these locations, that's what the pause button's for. Use it. In the thalamus are stored beliefs and corollary beliefs and some patterns. Habits are different. Habits are elsewhere, and we'll get to them too. Good. So let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into your thalamus that they continue working. And now we're going to direct these energies into your hypothalamus. The hypothalamus also has beliefs and corollary beliefs and some patterns. And is there a difference between which beliefs are in which place? I'm sure. And the scientists will come along and they'll figure out which is which. But in the meantime, let's just clear them out. Allow it. Allow it. Go deep, deep, deep into the center of the core being. And I'm getting that I should help direct those of you who want to. So here's a technique for going deeper. In any language you want, count to 3 and make an upward pointing triangle. and then a downward pointing triangle starting at the bottom. And I'll initiate it in this tape for you. And you can feel yourself going deeper. And sometimes it'll be a giant step, and sometimes it'll be a baby step, and sometimes it will feel like no step at all, and sometimes you'll go as deep as is possible. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now let's go all the way to the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is not hypnosis. This is not self-hypnosis. We are consciousness, and we're working with divine energy. And in the hypothalamus, we're clearing out everything that no longer serves us on our path. All these outmoded beliefs and patterns that are there. Good. So let's move on. And let's go into let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the hypothalamus. And now we'll direct that energy into the hippocampus. The hippocampus has two kinds of things. It has vasanas, which are desires, but not just wants, they're impulsive wants. You see something in a store, you didn't even know it existed, and you just have to have it, so you buy it and you take it home, and 6 months later, there it sits on a shelf, still in the box, you never opened it. You had to have it so much. We've all done that. A vasana. And it also has samskaras. Samskaras is this concept that I like to think of as this never-ending waterfall. And in most of us, it's dark. And we change it to the light. Modern psychology talks about it in terms of tapes that are constantly playing in our heads. But these are another kind of beliefs. These are beliefs that other people have fed to us and we've bought into it. Classic examples are like a parent who tells a kid that, oh, you're no good, you're never going to amount to anything. And then that gets stuck in there. How awful is that? So let's transmute, release, and replace it now with these energies in the hippocampus. And the deeper you go, the more will clear out. And you can use the 1, 2, 3s. 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos, tres. Eins, zwei, drei. Any language whatsoever. Good. Let that clear. These beliefs can be the building blocks of fears. These beliefs can be the building blocks of self-sabotage. Coyote medicine. Aren't we done with that? Aren't we collectively done with that as people on this planet? Let's clear it out. So now let's activate, let's energize, let's amplify, and let's lock these energies in to the hippocampus just by having the thought to do so. Pretty cool, huh? So now we're going to go into these two little almond-shaped pieces, the amygdalae, or each one's an amygdala. You gotta love Latin. And let this energy go in there, flood it, permeate it, super saturate it with these Shakti, deep from within the center of the core being. And let the amygdala clear everything that no longer serves you on your path. For in this location is where we store our fears themselves. Fear of success, fear of failure, to name two. Transmute, release, and replace. So again, feel free to use that pause button liberally. And let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the amygdala. When you're done, now let's go after some of these patterns. Let's direct these energies into a place in the brain called the striatum. You know what to do now. You're experts. Same thing, same process, same energies, different place. Send this into the striatum. So now let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the striatum. And now we're going to send this energy into the cerebellum. Now the cerebellum has lots of automatic processes in it, like breathing and your heartbeat. But since you need those will not be affected. But there is some bleed over from the striatum on other habit type things. So let's clear out the cerebellum, and it does clear out pretty quickly. Especially if you're deep in the center of the core being. Transmute, release, and replace. So let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the cerebellum. Excellent. This isn't hard. It's not hard. There's layers and layers of stuff. You may or may not get everything on one pass. Feel free to do this process more than once, however often you feel in here guided to do. So now we're going into the next place. We're going to start going through the endocrine system. Very important system. So we're going to start with the pineal gland. And let's send all of this energy into the pineal gland. Again, it's inside the middle of the brain. I want to activate, energize, amplify, and anchor in the pineal gland. And then we're going to go into the pituitary gland. And even if you've had glands removed or damaged or diseased or malformed in any way, you still have these glands on a spiritual level. Go through this exercise regardless. You'll find that it helps a lot. As you do this, if you're watching, you should have your eyes closed, but if you're watching, you'll see that I've been moving my head and twisting my neck. That's because the energy is building up and the energy needs to go through, and I just get the urge to move and allow it to do so through the physical channels for that, the spinal cord, etc. Feel free to do that yourself. So let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock in these energies into the pituitary gland. And while we're in the neighborhood, we're going to step off from the endocrine system for a moment, and we're going to send all of this energy into a place called the Cave of Brahma. For those of you who have been called airheads, well, actually there are air pockets in your brain, and in fact this is the third ventricular space. And it's called the Cave of Brahma. You can look it up on the internet if you want. But right now we're transmuting, releasing and replacing everything that no longer serves you on your path. And what happens spiritually is very similar to a capacitor between the pineal and the pituitary through the Cave of Brahma. The way these spiritual energies spark across. Not that that matters to us, just in case you're curious, or you decide you want to research it. So let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the Cave of Brahma. And now we're going to return to our trip through the endocrine system. So we're going to send these energies now into the thyroid gland. Again, there's many people with all kinds of thyroid issues. Minor things like nodules, all the way up to things that have required the removal of parts of their thyroid. Some people are on synthetic thyroid hormones. That's all okay. Let's do this regardless. We're transmuting, releasing, and replacing everything that no longer serves you on your path. From your thyroid. And now we want to activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the thyroid. And now focus these energies into the thymus. About here. And let's activate, energize, amplify, and anchor in the thymus. And now we'll focus the energy into the adrenal glands, the two of them on top of each kidney. By the way, in doing this work with the endocrine system, you might find yourself getting warmer or sweaty or colder. That's okay, we'll be done soon. So let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into your adrenal glands. And now send this energy into the pancreas. So now let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into the pancreas. And now we're going to focus these energies into the gonads, ovaries for the women and testes for the men. And now we want to activate, energize, amplify, and lock these energies into your gonads. And now we want to focus this energy into this teeny little piece inside the brain called the corpus callosum. It's this teeny weeny little piece that connects the left and the right hemispheres, and it's the only piece that connects the left and the right hemispheres. Let's send that energy in there now. Small little piece. And this piece clears out very quickly because there's always tremendous amounts of energy going back and forth, information going back and forth. So let's activate, energize, amplify, and lock the energy in there. Not what was, but the energy we're working with, right? So now we're going to use not our physical hands, but our astral hands. And we're going to squeegee, because squeegees don't leave things behind like brooms do. So we're going to squeegee all the thoughts up the left side and up the right side of our brains, up outside our skulls, in between these two astral hands about the ninth chakra, creating the prayer mudra, like praying hands. Mudras are very, very powerful ways of placing our hands. When you have an energy field and you move it through another energy field, it creates a flow of energy. And on our palms and other places of our bodies, there are all these nerve endings. So when we place our hands in very, very specific ways, it creates a propensity for certain spiritual activity. So we're going to create that with our astral hands, squeegee all the thoughts up the left and right sides of the brain, up about the ninth chakra. In that prayer mudra, you don't even have to know where that is or what that is. I was just trying to explain it a little bit. And now what we want to do is the magic part. Have the thought to spiritually expand the corpus callosum and completely fill that space between the left and the right hemispheres. It happens instantaneously once you have that thought. And then what happens is that the left and the right brain start to synchronize. Some people call that hemisync. Hemispheres synchronization. Allowing the brain to balance. For those of you who are doing continuous breathing, you may stop. The continuous breathing, but please keep breathing. And if everyone will make sure they're in the center of the core being, have the thought to activate that base chakra, the connecting chakra. It's below the feet, not on the bottom of each foot. It's off the body. And there, with your consciousness, you are your consciousness in the center of the core being. Repeat after me. I command that all of my bodies immediately balance, align, center, and ground. And now here in the center of the core being, having cleared all that you've cleared. Ask for what you want. Invite in your guides. Invite in your teachers. Let's connect that base chakra to the center of the earth. Let's connect the base chakra to the earth logos. We've talked about the logi before. Let's connect that base chakra to the center of the solar system and the base chakra to the solar logos. The base chakra to the center of the Milky Way. The base chakra to the galactic logos. The base chakra to the center of the universe. The base chakra to the cosmic logos. The base chakra to the center of all that is. And the base chakra to the Lord of all the logi. Perhaps you'd like to invite in the angelic realms. We can do that, starting in the east. With Raphael, I'm doing the sacred geometry part internally. Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Metatron, Sandalphon, Yesharel. Please come forth with all your choirs of angels and minions of healing and help us with our work. Help us with our healing. Help us heal others. Help us in our service. Help us do our part in service. Thank you so much. Amen, amen, and amen. Amen, amen, and amen. And now I call forth divine courage, the Shakti of divine courage itself, and I radiate it out to you. And if you'd like it, I ask that you breathe it in, fill the center of the core being with it, activate, energize, amplify, and lock it on your node in the center of the core being and radiate it out through your entire being. In North America, that's about 55 feet in diameter. Everywhere else in the world, it's about 16.7 meters in diameter. And it's not really a sphere, but it's close enough. My point is that it's huge. Everyone's crystalline structure is so much larger than they think. Let's live in that bigness. Let's live from that bigness. Why do you think your crystalline structure is that large? What gifts are there outside the physical body, but within your body system. Why do you have all that extra space? Think about it. Live from that place. Live from the bigness of you. Even if you're introverted, doesn't matter. Live in the fullness of you. So right now, I'd like you to do a little work. Ask for divine peace. Keep your eyes closed. Be in the center of the core of being. Activate the base chakra in case it's not. Eventually, you want to stay in the center of the core of being all the time. You want that base chakra activated all the time. But for now, we have to keep reminding ourselves to be that and do that. So there in the center of the core being, right by your node, ask for divine peace. You don't think you can? Try. Just try. You know I'm going to radiate it out to you. Here you go. But try first. And accept this divine peace in the fullness of yourself. Can't you love yourself? Breathe in this divine peace. Activate, energize, amplify, lock it in on your node. And from your node in the center of the core of being right now, radiate it out to every node on the grid of humanity and radiate this peace everywhere. There's a beautiful Hindu prayer. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all people in all lokas and all locations be at peace, be happy. That wasn't hard to do. Thank you for participating in this. Thank you so much. Enjoy the energy. Hey, my friends. God bless. Please visit our website at Shaktify.com.